So that kind of takes us towards towards the end of that particular session, and I see that we already have quite a few questions in the Q&A box. So I'm going to ask my associate Surbi to jump in, and if she can help us with the questions on there, Surbi.
Yes, Mr. Hema. So we have a question by Ashok. He says he has completed his MBA from UK and got his PSW visa in 2009. Now he's planning to do his LLM again, but he wants to know whether he'll get the PSW after completing his LLM in UK.
Yeah, so at the moment, I mean, because you're going in on a course which is just starting now, so obviously, you'd be eligible for that. It doesn't take into account any previous visas that have been granted, or there are no obvious disqualifications at the moment for any previous visas. So you should be fine on that front.
All right. We have another question by Candice. Will EU national students be allowed on the Tier 4 visa? Will they need a Tier 4 visa?
So at the moment, the EU nationals who are already in country, they have the option to apply, for under the settlement scheme, which is under the pre-settled status, or if they've been in the UK for 5 years, they can apply for a settled status on the back of it. If the EU nationals fall under the pre-settled status, then they're not going to have to make any specific additional applications. But if it is after the cutoff, and if it's after the UK has left the EU and the transitional arrangements have ended, then they will be required to apply for student visas just as everybody else.
All right. Following that question is another question by Candice. Is there any category you cannot switch into on the Tier 4 visa?
So switching from another category into a Tier 4, or I mean, so there are considerations. Generally, for the work permit, for instance, the Tier 2, till last year, even though you were getting a job offer from a UK employer, the Home Office did require you to leave the country to make an application, for entry clearance outside of the UK. So there are, there are areas where there could be certain categories you're not allowed to switch into. These change from time to time. We can have a look at the specific categories, closer to the time when you're making an application to say that what's working, because what we have seen over the last kind of 4 to 6 months, also last 4 months, has been that the Home Office has been flexible given the whole pandemic situation, and it's allowed people to switch from visa categories that earlier they were not permitted. So we've had applicants who switch from visit visas to spouse visas. We've had applicants who switch from student visas to sole representative visas as well. So we'll again, it's a brave new world right now. So we'll have to kind of take a closer look closer to the time of the application.
All right, perfect. We have a question by Atis Kamboj. Do you assist the students for visa process? He has done his undergraduation and from the University of Glasgow. He has the CAS that's in place, loan letters in place, lease deed is in place, application has been filled. So can we help him with the visa process?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are an immigration law firm. So we've been practicing UK immigration and nationality laws for almost 10 years. We started off in 2009. So we do actually specialize with the visa applications. We don't focus as much on student admissions and such. I mean, we do provide help and assistance to do that, but that's not our focus area. We're primarily lawyers, and we look at doing managing applications on there. So yeah, definitely we'll be able to help you with that.
All right, perfect. We have a question by Aruna Chalam. I hope I'm pronouncing that. Please pardon me if that's not right. My niece studied in UK for 5 years, where he studied MSc and came back to India in the year 2019. Can he apply for student visa? Because they read somewhere that they can't study for more than 5 years. So she needs advice there.
So typically, Arun, it would depend in terms of what course they wanted to go back to do that. So generally UK follows in a system of progression. So if you want to study progressive courses, so if you've done a bachelor's, you go back for a master's, you've done an MBA, you want to do an MSc, you've done an MSc, you want to go for a PhD. So you've got to look at, a level up in terms of the progression. If you wanted to apply for a similar course, then obviously the Home Office will be a bit more skeptical about why do you want to pursue a course at the same level. But if you're doing a progressive course, or if your niece is choosing to do a progressive course where she's looking at doing an MPhil or a PhD, then there shouldn't be any restrictions on her to apply.
All right, okay. I hope that answers your question, Arun. We have a couple of questions more. If one has completed 5 years under startup visa, then can that be a settlement route? And which visa is the application for settlement in the UK?
Right. So startup visas are only granted for 2 years. You can't complete 5 years on a startup visa. So, at the end of 2 years on the startup visa, you will have to switch to an innovator visa or a skilled worker visa or something on those lines, and then, follow the pathway through the settlement. The startup visa on its own, the 2 years does not count towards settlement, and you can't extend it beyond 2 years any which way. So you will have to move to an innovator or tier 2 or any other visa category, which will then lead to settlement.
All right, perfect. We have a question by Sanjeet. Would digital marketing come under a skilled worker category?
So at the moment, I mean, the Home Office is publishing the guidance for the different job roles. There will be various job categories, and given the fact that they've taken the qualification framework down from 6 to 3, I'm pretty sure some kind of the digital marketing or marketing management or marketing manager job roles will form a part of the for the shortage occupation or the standard occupation lists.
All right, so we have a question by Riddhi. What kind of jobs do students usually take, and what is the pay like? Even part-time and full-time, if you could advise on that.
So really, it kind of depends in terms of what you want to do. There are most of the students will opt for the easier option. So you could work as picker and packers, or work with the supermarkets, or on any of those kind of job roles. There are companies who offer in kind of specialist job roles and call centers and all the rest of it as well. So it really depends on how much time you're going to be able to spend whilst you're on a course. Which area of the UK you're based in, and what kind of job opportunities are available. So there isn't a prescriptive list to say that you can't do these kind of jobs. Ultimately, it just depends on what's easily available in your area, and you could take that. And typically, you can expect to be paid the minimum wage, for that particular job role. So the national minimum wage in the UK is about £7.5 to £8, I think. That's what you can reasonably expect.
All right. Okay. Okay, are parents allowed to be dependents?
Unfortunately not, no. The dependents are only spouses and children till the age of 18. So they're the only ones who class as dependents. Siblings and parents are not dependents, even if they do rely on you, but they're still not classed as dependents.
All right, we have a question by Sanjeet again. The funds need to be in FD, or does it have to be in the bank account for 28 days?
No, I think fixed deposits are fine as long as they meet up with the requirements. They're not locked in. They're encashable and they're available. And that they're in the name of the applicant. Then yeah, you could use FDs as well. It doesn't have to be in a bank
account. Perfect. All right. I'm quickly just scrolling through other questions. All right. We have a question by Chandra. Hi, sir. Can the student dependent apply for an innovative visa whilst working?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, student dependents are free to work as a dependent on that. And if they have an idea which meets up with the requirement for an innovator visa, they can apply for an innovator visa and they can switch their status from being a student dependent to an innovator. Not a problem at all. Right. So I think Surbi's got a slight problem, I think, with her technology. I'm just going to take a couple more questions that are there. There are quite a few in here. So there's a question about student visa consultants not charging anything as they get paid from universities giving admissions. How about your consulting charges? So, we, as I said, we are an immigration law firm. When we do visa applications, we do charge students to apply for the visas. We have different levels of services that we offer for a full representation. So you can do a pre-screening or initial consultation, and we can advise you on the charges for the visa application. If you're using our student services to get admission to a university and we are managing your visa application, then obviously there aren't any additional kind of fees on that bit. I think we've covered most of the other questions. Jasmine Kumar Mehta wants to know about the tier 2 visa eligibility, expenses, documents required. Mr. Mehta, the tier 2 visas, the Home Office hasn't yet published a fee structure for that, so we don't have an idea on the expense that it would entail. But at the moment, if you're applying for a 3-year work permit, you're paying about 65,000 rupees in visa fees and about 1,200 pounds in a health surcharge. So we're likely to assume that it will be in that same kind of an area. Also, there's a question around mature students. So Mr. Chandra, if you are a mature student, typically the admission to a university depends upon the applicant's position in terms of their life stages and all the rest of it. There is no bar on mature students not getting through to universities. Mature students can. I mean, the oldest that we did for a student visa was for a 52-year-old male who wanted to go study on a course. He managed to get an admission to a UK university, and we managed to get him a visa as well. So, age is not a bar if you can prove that you are, a genuine student. So I think we've kind of got through most of the questions. There are a few more questions again popping in the chat windows as well. Typically, when we come around to maintenance funds, it is £1,000, 1025 for 9 months. If you're outside of London, so you can calculate it based on where your university is, and that will give you an insight into the maintenance funds. For dependents, again, you're required to show the same amount of funds. So if you're showing about £9,000 in dependent for one dependent, then you'll have to do that for as many dependents that you have, in the whole process. I think we've gone through most of the questions in here. As I said, we will be taking up all of your questions, individually as well. So rest assured that we will be answering all of those questions, even outside. I would suggest you keep, dropping in your messages, to us. We have a presence in Bombay, Delhi, and Bangalore. And what you see on your screen is you also have our email address, in terms of queries that you want to kind of, send across to. So make a note of the email address, send in your questions on there, and we will look at addressing all of those questions. Right. So I think we've kind of been, sorry, go on.
Yeah, we have Chandra who has raised his hand. Do we have a couple of minutes to ask him his question?
Yeah, sure. All right, okay, sure, we can take that. We've got about a couple of minutes.
Hi, Chandra. Hello, Chandra, please unmute yourself.
One second. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. This is for my wife, actually. I've asked for the mature visa. For 40, she is 45 at the moment. She has done her IELTS today,
right?
And we are looking for master's program. She is a BSc B.Ed, actually, BSc Electronics with B.Ed. She has experience of teaching experience in Dubai, as well as Singapore and India. Even currently, also she is a teacher. So a suitable course we are looking at in masters.
Yeah.
So if you can suggest a student.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we made a note of these details, and what we'll do is we'll have our student counselors kind of come back to you and advise you on the appropriate courses. That's not a problem at all.
Okay. And also the dependents are also fine, right, with the mature students?
Yeah, absolutely. Shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Fine, sir. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much.
No problem at all. Right, so I think that takes care of us. Surbhi, do you have any other questions you want us to address?
We have a question of what all skills come under the skilled visa category.
As I said, I mean, the skilled visa category is a skilled worker visa is typically any job role which is for which an employer says that, we want to bring in a person, into the UK. And the skilled worker visa is generally designed to help UK employers to bring in any kind of resource, which after Brexit is going to get difficult because, with the Brexit, obviously the Home Office anticipates a lot of European Union workers may not want to continue in the UK. So any kind of job roles is going to go through with it. And, the Home Office will be setting up a list kind of by October where we'll have a definitive idea. But, with the RQF levels going down to level 3, we'll see a lot more options.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. There are a couple of questions which are popping in, but I think we are running short of time now. We will definitely reach out to each and every one of the participants today. We'll share the presentation with you. If you filled in your details, we'll definitely contact you via a telephonic call or through emails. So watch out for your email for the inbox. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Hemant, do you have anything else to say?
No, I think that's about it. And I look forward to hearing more specific questions from all of you and addressing them over the next couple of days. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a good week, everybody. Stay safe.
Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone.